I think that modern film criticism is cooked. Everyone with a phone is leaving those one-line letterboxd review quips that make me want to blow my brains out. Or, and you're not off the hook if you do this too, those 4-paragraph reviews that start with an italicized quote from the movie. If your letterboxd review starts with an italicized quote lifted from the film, I am stealing something out of your house. I am not reading all of that, and you also make me want to blow my brains out for very personal reasons that I don't need to get into. So, okay. Somehow everything on Letterboxd is at the point it's driving me crazy. Where else do I turn? Where else is a beautiful girl who enjoys film supposed to turn to read about the movies? Well, so then I go to YouTube and, like I watch my Red Letter Media and my Karsten Runquist and my Oscar Expert. I love those little freaks, but I'm still just left with like a husk. I'm like, there's something, it's just not good anymore. And if you know a reviewer that would, blow me out of the water or something, shock me and like impress me, I'd be happy to hear it, but I've yet to find it. And so I'll watch the Criterion Closet videos and try to get recommendations. And then honestly, I don't want to watch most of those black and white French films from the 40s. Maybe my attention span is just that cooked, but that's not what I'm looking for either in recommendations or reviews right now. I gotta be transparent here. I'll probably get to those someday when I'm like 50. But right now I'm 23 and I want to watch something so fun. So where's the market for people like me? I don't got Siskel and Ebert around anymore to help me out. So I just try to find things on my own. And I want to do my own little Criterion Closet today. And I say all this and I have this. I still love Criterion. I get a kick out of those guys. I love the Criterion channel. I think that there's some really based stuff that ends up on there, some interesting picks. I just I had to find my own way with it, and I was really moved moved sounds dramatic, but I really enjoyed Nisi Pisa's We Have Criterion Closet at Home video. It's what inspired me to try to make this. I've never made a YouTube video in my life. I've been in a creative and like kind of mental rut, and I was like, you know what, it would be really fun to just talk about some movies that I love, that I own on DVD, because I'm starting to collect a little bit, and just share what I love about them and have a positive conversation with myself and like the sprinkling of people that will watch this about the movies. Because I just feel like I've been in such an echo chamber of pretentiousness and male opinion. And I wanna try to fix that. So let's just get into it. I paused to put all of my movies into the bag, so I didn't have to, figure out how to pick them. I'm just gonna shake them up and then pick. So now it's like a lump. But I'm gonna talk about the bag for a second. Okay. I needed a new bag because mine was like practically falling apart, and I had a Criterion like merch coupon. So I was like, I'll get this guy. There are 2 other versions of this. There's one that's yellow and another that's red, and they all have great names of directors on them, but I went with the blue because I had a couple of favorite people on it, like like Bong and Schlesinger, who I'm gonna talk about, Almodovar, Lee, Demi. I gotta hold it up a little more. But there are also many names on here that I don't know. And so it's kind of like I have a built-in watch list on my bag, which is awesome. Because sometimes I need to do this more. I haven't had it for very long, but I'll be like putting things on my watch list because I'm like, I need to see something by like whatever, Melville. I don't know. But I will say going around with it scares me sometimes because you know those guys when they see a girl in like a Pink Floyd shirt and they're like, name 3 songs. I think that I'm gonna get somebody like, oh yeah? Well, tell me 3 Von Sternberg movies. And I'm gonna be cooked. Oh gosh. You want me to name 3 Von Sternberg films? Right on, brother. Well, Venus Blonde. I know, right? That's a classic right there. And then you got The Shanghai Gesture. I know, right? That was crazy. And then Crime and Punishment. I knew it. I know. Oh my gosh. You got me. I love him so much that I wrote my 3 favorite films of his on the palm of my hand. I know. Yeah, I'm really excited you asked me. Pabst? Name 3 Pabst films? You know, I usually write some of my favorite guys' films on the palms of my hands before I go out, you know, when I'm gonna probably be asked something like this. Pabst. Blue Ribbon, right? Blue Ribbon was crazy. You know, me and Blue Ribbon, we go way back. Okay. So, I have a lot to get around to. I've basically forced myself to have a watch list of these people. Anyway, great bag. Let's see. I didn't even talk about all of these. I'm just gonna see what speaks to me, but I'm not looking right now. Midnight Cowboy. Get a load of this. Midnight Cowboy, Jon Voight, Dustin Hoffman, directed by John Schlesinger. Won Best Picture at the Oscars in 1970. First NC-17 movie to do such a thing. And it was only rated NC-17 because it was so gay. No, they literally said like too many homosexual themes. And I watch gay movies, you know, like 2020's gay movies. There's plenty of them. This is still one of the gayest movies I've ever seen. It's absolutely incredible. And Jon Voight, you are going to die in 7 days. Because you were absolutely incredible. Joe Buck is one of the best characters, I think, ever in movies. I'm so moved by him. And now you're like in Trump's like taking back Hollywood, like saving Hollywood regime thing. You played a fantastic gay man. I hope you never forget it. It's the one good thing you ever did. It's a great good thing. You know, when I watch, I almost forget that that's you. But yeah, you will have karmic retribution for what you've done. For contributing to one of the best gay movies of all time, if not the best ever, and then being a Trump supporter. There will be some sort of retribution, but I'll push that aside for now. You'll be off the hook for now, except I did say you were gonna die in 7 days. I take that back. You'll die when you're meant to, and you'll face the consequences. Anyway, I got a little sidetracked. Here's the inside of the DVD. This one's gorgeous, honestly. I got this for myself for Christmas as I've kind of started collecting more, and I needed it. I watched Midnight Cowboy for the first time in September. I've only seen it a couple times now. I want to watch for a third time, but honestly the ending really fucked me up, in particular the second time, that I haven't really had the nerve to yet. Let me even just take a look for a second. I already roasted Jon Voight, even though he did an incredible job in here. I just think that he's you know, not a good guy. But Dustin Hoffman, he went leaps and bounds harder with this than he maybe ever even needed to. Like, I think of Ratso Rizzo like at least like 4 times a week. I'd say that conservatively. So good. He's so good. And, you know, at first you think he's just going to be like kind of funny, you know, because he has the, hey, I'm walking here, which, you know, that New Yorker stereotype did come from him saying it in the movie. You're like, oh, this guy's just kind of funny. Like, he's just a little silly. And then he breaks your heart into a million pieces. And I wouldn't have it any other way. It's got to be a top 5 movie for me ever. It's on my letterboxd top 4. I think about it all the time, even though I can't watch it too much. Dustin Hoffman coughed so much playing Rizzo that he threw up at one point. And it's one of the best gay movies ever. There's no, I'm getting close up because I'm like, you guys are gonna want to hear this, but I've recommended this to people pretty relentlessly. Only one of my friends has watched it so far, and she gave it 5 stars because it's a 5-star movie, and you all need to get around to it when you're mentally able. You know, there's sometimes it's not, like, if you're really, really down, it's not always the best thing to turn to. But if you care about gay people, gay culture, it's essential. It's literally essential. I almost don't want to say any more than that because it's just worth experiencing. I just kind of threw it on one day because I'm like, oh, I've heard that this won Best Picture. And I knew like nothing else, and I was blown out of the water. So there's that. I don't really have like a time limit on myself. I'm just kind of babbling. So let's see here. I don't have a script either. I was gonna try to, but it didn't happen. Okay. Like shaking it even makes a difference, but I don't know what I'm. Okay. This one's so gorgeous. It's absolutely stunning. Criterion here. It's only the 97th one that they, whoa, disc falling. Okay. The booklet, 40 Acres and a Mule, the whole thing. It got like great interview and like script sections and such. I'm very excited to read this. My parents want to watch it with me again sometime soon, so I'm gonna wait to read it then. Wow. Well, what is there even really to say that hasn't already been said a gazillion times? Just such a special movie in every way. It's a feat. Like, I'm so lucky that everyone is lucky that this exists, really. And I watched it for the first time when I was in high school, and I loved it, as one does, as one should. And I watched it again when I took a film class in community college. Why can't I get this back in? Yeah, that was the best movie that I was shown in community college film class, because that guy kind of chose awful stuff, like weird picks for a film class. But this, I'm like, you can't go wrong. You literally can't go wrong. I got this also kind of as a Christmas present to myself, but my uncle, my conservative uncle that I really hate, like I actually really don't get along with, gave me a $50 Amazon card, and my first thought was, what can I get with this that he would not want me to get with his money? And I was like, I should finally do the right thing. This is one that I really want in my collection. And I'm very happy to have it. Spike Lee is just one of the coolest people to ever live. I admire him so much, just everything about him as a person, even. He's so funny. I love his Instagram. Kind of keeps me on there a little bit, I won't lie. And it's so beautifully made. The colors just pop off of the screen. You feel everything you're supposed to feel. There's not much else I can even add, honestly. Just if somehow you're watching this and you haven't seen it, you should. I don't really know if anyone's still watching, but that's okay. I'm doing this really for myself. Okay. Election. Matthew Broderick, Reese Witherspoon, Alexander Payne of The Holdovers. I was not talking to you, Alexa. Anyway, 1999. Incredible casting, for starters. Like, Matthew Broderick as, like, the burnt out history civics teacher. Hilarious. It's perfect because you remember Ferris Bueller, right? He was like a sprightly, rebellious teenager, and now he's like just some loser teacher. You can't really go wrong. It's a good bit. But Reese Witherspoon was literally 9 months pregnant with Elle Woods when she played Tracy Flick. She's like evil Elle Woods, like evil teenager Elle Woods. And I eat it up every time. I'm like, I love this girl. And then all the side characters are so funny. The lesbian who has a happy ending, and they don't make fun of her for being lesbian. Well, you know, a couple characters do, but like, you know, it's clear that we're on her side. I eat it up. I love her. And her brother Paul, who's just like the perfect himbo type. When you all talk about himbos, he's the one. Like the one. There's no one better at it than Paul. And I just love how seriously this movie takes itself while still being so fucking funny. Like, on the surface, yes, it's funny that Tracy is taking this student body president high school election as seriously as she is, but you pity her. You know, you feel bad for her. She gets groomed by one of the other bum teachers, and she cares too much. You know, you're kind of like, okay, girl, calm down. You know, it's not that serious. But it feels like it is that serious because you see how much it means to her. And it's masterful in comedy and drama. I think the drama part is very underrated. And it's just incredible commentary on politics in general, just in like a smaller setting. we need more fun movies that make a point, but you can still just watch it and be like, I had fun. And that's this. And I watched it for the first time while I was cat sitting at my aunt's house. I had a lot of great movie watching experiences there because I just would hang out on my own and pick something. And I did this with, I'd had a 5 milligram THC drink, and my tolerance was very low at the time. And so I queened out to this all by myself, and I had a blast. And everyone should watch it. That's what I'm saying about all of these, but it's true. This one even felt really light right now because I have the disc in my DVD player as we speak. And I want to watch it today. Well, that's clear. It's in the DVD player. I'm waiting for it. Okay. I didn't even shake it this time. Like, fuck it. The best movie of all time. Parasite, Bong Joon-ho, 2019, South Korea. Song Kang-ho. Oh my god. People died. Including me. I saw this for the theater in the theater for the first time. This is when I was getting into movies. This is kind of it's the first South Korean movie I'd seen. One of the very first foreign movies that I really got into, in all honesty. Beautiful Criterion. Come on. Then you got the 2 discs because there's a black and white version, which I've been meaning to watch. I've seen it like 7 times, I believe, and it never gets old. When I saw it in the theater for the first time and the twist happens, which I'm not even gonna say, because if somehow you're watching this and you haven't seen it, which would floor me, I don't want anyone to know what happens. And I try to make everyone I know watch this, and still not enough people have seen it. You shouldn't know what happens. I showed it to my old roommate, and we got like 40 minutes in, and she was high, and she genuinely went, "So when's the parasite coming in?" And I was like, "What do you mean?" And she's like, "I thought that there was like an infection. I thought this was like a kind of disaster movie where people get infected by a parasite." And she meant this wholeheartedly. And I almost didn't want to tell her that that wasn't true because I didn't want her to know what to expect. But I had to, because I was like, you're just going to be waiting this entire time for something that isn't going to happen. So I'm like, no, that's not what the parasite is. But you will find out that the real parasite was the friends we made along the way. When I started this sentence like twice and then I got off track. When I saw this in the theater and the twist happened, I screamed. And it was really embarrassing because I am very serious about my movie theater etiquette. I worked at a movie theater for like a year. Everybody shut the fuck up. But I literally went, "Oh my God!" very loudly. And I still understand it. I still kind of have that moment even when I watch it again, and that scene happens. I think everybody should be allowed to scream in the movie theater like at least once, and if it's for something like that, it's reasonable. You use your scream when it's necessary. You don't just like, I feel like screaming just because. Gotta have a reason. And this gives you many reasons. I live in Illinois. They mentioned Illinois State in here, and when I went to see it, everybody started whispering, and they're all like, they mentioned us, and it was really cute. That meant a lot to me. I mean, it's the best technically made movie ever. Like my favorite, at least. I have the storyboard book because I got it as a gift once. I have nothing but good things to say. It's just, yeah, it's so good. I know it's a basic favorite movie of all time pick, but like, tell me you watch it and you're not like standing up and applauding by yourself. Anyway. What else? I have like 3 more. I don't know if I'm gonna, let's see. Speaking of screaming in the movie theater, I didn't see this in the theater. I really wish that I did. But I wasn't, when I really think about it, and this could be proven wrong, I think that this is the first proper horror movie that I ever watched.
What?
When I was growing up, my parents kept me pretty far away from them. I wasn't sheltered. I still had unrestricted internet access that fried my brain, and I'll never be the same. But I didn't really consume horror. I just saw this at the library one day, and I was like, you know what? I'll give this a try. I feel like I've heard of it. This is my cheapest DVD for sure. I got it at Target bargain bin when I just saw it, and I was like, I want to own this. But it blew my mind. I mean, this being like basically your first proper horror movie, I was like I thought I was gonna die. I mean, I was like 17. I got it and I was like, Dad, do you want to watch this with me? And when that one scene happens, I'm literally shaking. When that one scene happens, you know the one. If I said I wasn't going to spoil Parasite, then I probably shouldn't spoil this. I don't care. When her head gets chopped off in a car accident, I literally, on the couch with my dad, had that same kind of moment where I went, oh my God! Oh my God. And I freaked out, and he was like, do you want to stop watching? Like, we don't have to keep watching. You seem really, like, upset. And I'm like, no, we have to. Like, I have to know what happens from here. Because I had never seen something like that happen in a movie before. I was blown away. And, it was weirdly like a comfort rewatch for me for some time. Because once you know what's going to happen, you're like, oh yeah, I remember this. I remember the lead up to this. And it's all just so perfectly done. Ari Aster, you're a freak. And I also started Beau's Afraid and I didn't finish it because I wasn't really liking it. But I forgive you because I would still consider this like top 10 favorites for me. Made me a horror fan. The moment I saw it, I was like, I fuck with horror. It really just, it means a lot to me. And I don't really know how to explain that. But it just really, there's nothing else quite like it. And plenty of A24 horror movies after have tried to be like Hereditary, but they never will. And I know, Toni Collette should have at least been nominated for an Oscar. I completely agree. But at least we have the privilege to even enjoy this in the first place. We're so lucky as a society that Hereditary exists. And, yeah. Okay, I had to stop for a moment. And I decided to only talk about one more. First Reformed by Paul Schrader with Ethan Hawke, Amanda Seyfried, and Cedric the Entertainer as Reverend Jeffries. Okay, so I kind of got into it with Parasite and Hereditary. Those were very, very, very formative movies for me. Parasite was what kind of opened my eyes to foreign film and taught me what an auteur was. And just an appreciation for production design and editing. It gave me that love of technical things about film, almost more than anything. I mean, everything about it's perfect, but that's what my relationship with it is. And then Hereditary gave me my love of horror, taught me what great acting is really truly. Like I'd known, but you know, when you see Toni Collette and it's like your first real horror movie, you're kind of changed as a person. And just what great storytelling is, because Hereditary, while the metaphor can be kind of basic, it's fantastically done. I have kind of no notes on how well it's done. So you know, those two, I have that background. And then honestly, First Reformed is just what made me love movies, period. Like I got into movies kind of late in the game, all things considered. Like I believe I was 17, and I literally just had a thought of like, I want to get into movies. And I was like, I should watch all of the Best Picture nominees. And this was going into the 2019 Oscars. So that's when Green Book won. That was Green Book, if I recall correctly. And so I watched that and I learned what a bad movie was, but I also learned what great movies were, like The Favorite and Black Klansman. But I looked and I'm like, there's a movie called First Reformed and it only got a nomination for Best Screenplay. This is gonna be interesting. I wonder why that's the only thing it got. It must be a really fucking good screenplay. Yeah, it was. It really was. I went to the library and I went like, one copy of First Reformed, please. And I came home with it and I went, hey, Mom and Dad, we're gonna watch First Reformed. I was locked in. Like from that first frame, it was like, it's me and you, dude. Like me and Paul Schrader. We loved each other. And I just really, I connected to the themes very, very strongly. Everything about organized religion and like losing faith, all that really stuck out to me, along with obviously the climate change crisis. Really, all of it just like struck into me, where I just was like, I was just blown away. But it was really the first time that I felt like I was forming my own very strong opinions that made me feel misunderstood. Because when I showed my parents, you know, when we all watched it together, they both fell asleep. Both of them. And I felt so good. I was like, oh my God, I picked something to show them and they didn't like it and I loved it. And it just gave me this like elation almost, where I'm like, wow, I have my own opinions. That's literally what that was to me. It was an absolute game changer, and I've analyzed the fuck out of it. I've seen it maybe like 4 or 5 times, just not too many, because I feel like it's very sacred to me. You know, like I get kind of scared to like overdo it. Like I got this and I wanted to listen to the commentary track and I just realized I wasn't in the mindset. So now I'm waiting for like a certain time, whenever that may be. I don't know. But it's very close between this and Parasite as a favorite for me, at least in significance to me personally. Like even just the filmmaking, which I think is a very underrated part of this too. That camera is so still, and the moment that it moves for the first time, your stomach just flutters. It's incredible. And Amanda Seyfried's probably my favorite actress ever. Ethan Hawke is very, very high up there for favorite actor. Paul Schrader's probably my favorite screenplay writer, even though I still have more that I need to see, admittedly. this is always going to be the best for me of all of those people, because it's a passion project and you can feel it. And, you know, I hear people say, oh, this is just like Winter Light, or this is kind of like Taxi Driver. And to be honest, I haven't really seen either of those. I haven't seen either of those.
What?
Because I've been scared to, because this movie means that much to me. And also, honestly, I want to have something to still look forward to. So someday I will get to them and I'll probably be very happy because I love this that much. But it's kind of nice to just let it exist on its own in my head in that way. Just incredible. Go watch it if you haven't. Form your own opinion. Me literally acting like Carson Runquist to an audience of almost no one. But, like, it's so serious. I still think Ethan Hawke should have gotten a Best Actor nomination for that. Ethan Hawke and Toni Collette, you will have justice. And trust me, in my mind, you've won that a million times, because I still think about you guys in those constantly. Now I really want to watch First Reformed again. Who knows? Maybe in a couple weeks when the sun is shining again. But yeah, that's all. I hope you enjoyed. If you stuck around, I just really wanted to get this out of my system and just talk about the movies and why I love movies and just kind of my journey with them, because I feel like so much of film criticism nowadays has also just become having unpopular takes, or like just saying very negative things, or like being hypercritical. And I just like hearing people talk about things that they enjoy and talking about things that I enjoy too. Yeah. And thanks, everyone. It's time to go eat and watch a little something. And I hope that you have a great day, whoever you are.